remember when David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer, was terrorizing New York City. It was just awful. We were afraid to go out of the house. Well, today, it looks like there's a new serial killer loose in this area, and that creepy feeling is coming right back. Here to discuss this case are Pat Brown, criminal profiler, and Gil Alba, former NYPD detective. But first, I want to go to Alan Chernoff, CNN senior correspondent, who is at the scene where the victims are being found. Alan, authorities made a major discovery yesterday. What was the discovery?
Right. Here in Nassau County, they discovered a skull, and then a mile and a half away, they also discovered yet another set of bones. Joy, this would be either the 9th or possibly even the 10th victims in this whole investigation. As you recall, 8 victims had been discovered across the county line in Suffolk County. There was also a child, I found out, was also discovered, the remains of a child, right? Well, there have been reports to that effect. The authorities are not confirming that on the record, but that report has actually led to the very anxiety you just referred to, because there are not many people who live out here. This is one of the most desolate areas in the New York metro area.
I know it well.
There are about 300 families that live down this stretch of Ocean Parkway here. Everybody comes to Jones Beach. I'm sure you've been here many times, but there are about 5 communities all the way down, including Oak Beach, where one of the women who the police have been searching for was last seen, a woman who had been working as a prostitute who advertised online. The people who live in these communities have been reassured, feeling, well, at least it seems that this killer, this alleged killer, was just pursuing prostitutes. But if all of a sudden they actually have discovered the body of a child, that totally changes the equation, and yes, so people in the communities here are now highly concerned. Well, isn't it possible that the child was the child of one of these prostitutes? That she had the child with her when he killed her? So that may be why the child is there, so I don't know. I mean, but do the cops feel like they're getting any closer to finding a suspect in this case? They certainly do have some suspects. I mean, but they haven't named anybody yet. I mean, they are working very hard on this, and this has been going on for quite some time. I mean, recall this woman, Shannon Gilbert, the prostitute who went missing. She's been missing for almost a year, back to May 1st of last year. Some of the others had been missing for several years prior to then, all the way back to 2007. So this is really something that's been going on for quite a while. We can't say that the police are close to solving this just yet. Okay, thank you very much, Alan. Let me turn to my panel. Let's go to Pat first. Pat, do you think this is all the work of one man?
Well, Joy, it's likely, because when you have all the bodies dumped in one spot, you simply have to believe it's one serial killer, and there weren't 2 or 3 or 4 who decided, hey, great body dumping site, you know, let's all throw our bodies there. So I think we've got one guy, and I also think that the people in Long Island can be fairly calm at this point, because first of all, this guy is not going to be striking again there. I mean, there's so many eyes of law enforcement everywhere that he is not going to be killing anybody anytime soon in that location.
Do you agree with that, Gil?
Definitely not, because Shannon Gilbert went missing. The police did an investigation. She went to the houses screaming that help me out. A month later, 3 weeks later, on a Saturday, another girl went missing, and 3 weeks after that, another girl went missing. Right. So this guy is not afraid.
No, that was before all the bodies were found. That was before the bodies were found. But now the bodies are fine and they're doing all the searches, he's not going to be operating in that climate. He might operate someplace else, so I think other people in other jurisdictions might have to worry, but not in Long Island.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's possible.
Well, we'll see. That remains to be seen. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask you, he seems to be killing prostitutes.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of contempt he has for working girls, or what? I mean, what's going on? Because they're so, you know, a prostitute is disposable in the eyes of some people.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons for that. I mean, he's got deep psychological problems, and you know, to go and just prostitutes, and hopefully so far there's prostitutes. There's 8 people missing, and then in Atlantic City there's 4 more bodies. So hopefully, you know, that they were on the side. And these cases should be connected, actually. So we could have 13 missing murdered people, all with this one.
I didn't know about the Atlantic City. There are 3 women.
I think they found 4 women off the highway. There were prostitutes also. And they never caught the guy. So I think they're putting these 2 cases sort of together, which they should.
Do they really think it could be the same person?
Why not? I think it is a possibility. I mean, you got to put the cases together. I think it could be, yes.
I would agree with that because, I mean, Atlantic City isn't so far away, so if this guy had some business down there or was feeling things were too hot in Long Island, he could go down there. But I do want to say, I don't think this is that he has anything necessarily against prostitutes particularly. I mean, I never believed this thing where it was a mission-oriented serial killer where he had to cleanse the earth of all the prostitutes. I think the real reason is they're easy. You know, when you drive up to a prostitute and offer her money, she'll jump in your car. If you get her on Craigslist, she'll show up. I mean, that's very simple. The second reason is when they go missing, there isn't that much of a search for them as there are with, like, the schoolgirl.
That's true.
You know is not, you know, she should be home at 3 o'clock. With the prostitute, you say, well, maybe she went off with her boyfriend, maybe she's off working, and therefore it's a really great victim to pick.
I mean, some of these girls have been missing since '07. What took them so long to...
Because, you know, they weren't reported to families. But, however, you know, there's a pattern to this. I mean, they're all white at this point. They were all young, 20 years old, and they all look basically the same. But when you go out in that community...
He has a type.
Yeah, he's got certain type so far. I mean, with those 4, he had a type.
He can change up on that one easy.
Well,
what about the girls in Atlantic City? Were they also...
Some of them were young. One, I think, was 35 years old. But, you know, a serial killer could change his M.O., could change the way he kills. You know, they escalate and want to do other things and go after that. But you know the community out there. I mean, you know, going out there and living out there.
In Atlantic City? Or,
no,
Jones Beach?
Yeah, going past that, you know, there's 400 houses out there. And
yeah, it's desolate,
yeah.
Right. Okay, now the victim, let's go to this one, Pat. The victim's sister said she received phone calls from this killer on her sister's phone after she disappeared. Now, watch what she said on Good Morning America. Look at this.
Very scary. My heart would stop and, like, just didn't even know what to do, mostly.
Did he say that he had killed your sister on the phone?
Yeah. It was very frustrating. It broke my heart.
Why would he call her? Why did he do this, Pat?
Well, this guy is a sexual sadist, first of all. He is not the kind of serial killer that jumps out of the bushes, the anger retaliatory type that just knocks you over the head, and 10 minutes later, he's done, he's gone. This is a man who likes to bring the women back to his lair and spend hours, if not days, or hopefully not weeks, torturing them in his little basement, perhaps, that he's set up for them. But once he's finished with that, you know, sometimes you just want to keep the pleasure going. And perhaps this one girl, maybe she begged, maybe she said, you know, I got a little sister out there. She can't not have me come home. And he said, oh, what's your little sister's name? And once he killed off his victim, he thought, oh, well, now I can have some more fun. I'll call that little sister up and play with her, because he's a horrible sadist. That's what he is. He loves torturing people. Very
evil. I mean, the sister's scared too. Well, shouldn't she be scared, Gil?
I don't think he's going to come after her, but how he got her was through a cell phone.
Yes.
He got her.
Why can't they use that as evidence?
They did, and it traced back to, like, Madison Square Garden, Penn Station, and all that, and one in Long Island. So, you know, through the towers and all that. So, I mean, he knows what to do, what kind of phones to use, and everything else. So, it's not like, I mean, I don't believe it's a cop or anything like that.
I agree. I agree.
I believe this guy's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing, and it's premeditated. He knows who to get. He knows what calls. He knows what to do with the bodies.
They are saying on some of the news shows that he might be a police officer because he knew certain things. Like, I think the Madison Square Garden you referred to, there's so many people there that the cameras couldn't catch him.
Every drug addict in New York City knows that, don't
and
they?
there's also strip clubs. There's strip clubs down there. He might be going out there to find a lady to be his next victim. You know, I think some of these things are highly exaggerated. He is not a stupid man, because he has covered up pretty well. But on the other hand, he's not brilliant either. So I think we're exaggerating a lot of that. Well, not necessarily. Most serial killers go uncaught. But I hope with this one.
So?
Absolutely.
Not with this guy.
I hope with this guy, because he's put all the bodies in one place and there's a lot of evidence and the way he behaves and where he's working at, I hope they can narrow it down and identify him.
Okay, thank you guys very much for all this. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.